Somewhere in Africa 2 million years ago, a man is about to climb a tree that could kill him. Not for food, not for shelter, for one single mouthful of something sweet. Scientists used to think early humans barely tasted sugar at all, that it simply wasn't part of the story. Then a discovery, half a world away from any fossil site, blew that idea apart. We'll get to it. But first, you need to understand exactly what these people were risking their lives for, and why your own brain right now still runs on the same wiring they had. There were no farms back then, no markets, no shelf of anything. Every calorie in this world had to be tracked down, dug up, or fought for. Roots, tough leaves, seeds, the occasional scrap of meat. And then, a smell would drift through the trees, something the rest of the landscape simply didn't have. Honey. Here's the strange part. Honey wasn't just rare. It was guarded by thousands of insects that could kill through sheer numbers, hidden in trees 40 feet off the ground. By any rational survival logic, this was a meal not worth the risk. So why did our ancestors go up anyway? Not once, but over and over again, for 2 million years. The answer isn't really about honey. It's about what honey does to something hidden deep inside the human skull, and we're not ready to open that door yet. Let's stay with the bees a little longer, because this is where it gets strange. In parts of Africa today, there's a bird. Small, plain, easy to miss. But it does something almost no other wild animal on Earth does. It finds a beehive, then flies straight to a human calling loudly, leading them step by step to the hive itself. Why would a wild bird do that? Because it can't break open a hive on its own, but humans can. Once the hive is cracked, the bird eats the wax and larvae left behind, food it could never reach alone. Humans get honey. The bird gets dinner. Some researchers believe this partnership has been running for hundreds of thousands of years, which would make it one of the oldest working relationships between humans and any wild species on the planet. A bird talking to humans since before Homo sapiens even existed. Sit with that for a second. You'd think humans were the only primates doing this. We're not. Chimpanzees, our closest living relatives, raid wild beehives for honey too, using sticks as tools to pull the comb out without getting stung to death. Whatever is pulling humans toward honey isn't uniquely human at all, it's older than our entire species. Which raises an uncomfortable question. If this craving is older than humanity itself, what is it actually for? We're getting closer, but not yet. Surely fruit was the easy option. Not even close. Wild fruit back then looked nothing like what's in a grocery store today. Modern apples, for example, are the product of thousands of years of selective breeding. Their wild ancestors were small, sour, and mostly seed, barely resembling the fruit you'd recognize. Finding enough of it to matter could take days. Sweetness wasn't a daily habit for these people, it was closer to a jackpot. And jackpots do something specific to a brain. They make it obsessed. Now here's the discovery that changed everything. Scientists studying the Hadza, one of the last hunter-gatherer societies left on Earth, living in Tanzania, found something nobody expected. Honey can make up a huge share of their entire yearly calorie intake. Not a treat, not a snack, but a core survival food, hunted with the same seriousness as meat. That single finding forced researchers to rethink an old assumption. For decades, the story of the growing human brain was told almost entirely through meat. But honey may have been offering something meat couldn't. Sugar the body can absorb and use unusually quickly, pouring fuel into an organ that is brutally expensive to run. The brain is 2% of your body weight. It burns 20% of your daily energy. It is, by a wide margin, the hungriest organ you own. Researchers don't claim honey alone built the human brain. That's still debated. But growing evidence suggests rare, sweet, fast-burning calories like honey may have played a bigger role in our evolution than scientists once imagined. Here's the part that reframes everything you think about your own cravings. There's one reason sugar beats almost every other food source on Earth. It skips most of the line. Unlike foods that take hours to digest, simple sugars are broken down and made available to the body remarkably fast, delivering usable energy when it's needed most. For a brain burning through energy nonstop, that's not a treat. That's a shortcut evolution couldn't afford to ignore. So it didn't. Anyone whose brain screamed, "Eat that sweet thing," outcompeted. Anyone whose brain shrugged. That instinct won. It's still running inside you, right now. Except evolution designed that instinct for a world where sweetness showed up once in a while, guarded by bees, hidden in trees, gone in 3 weeks a year. It was never designed for a world where sweetness is sitting in a bowl on your counter, unguarded, unlimited forever. Your brain has no idea the rules changed, which raises the real question. If this craving was such a perfect survival tool for 2 million years, when exactly did it stop being an advantage and start becoming a problem? For most of human history, honey was basically the entire sugar supply. That was it. Then came sugarcane, first domesticated in New Guinea thousands of years ago. At first, people just chewed the raw stalk, small, local, harmless. Then, refining technology arrived, and that small habit detonated into something else entirely. Sugar stopped being a rare gift from wild bees and became a global commodity worth going to war over. Empires fought for it. Entire tropical colonies were converted into plantations, built and run on the backs of enslaved people during the Atlantic slave trade. The exact same craving that sent a man up a tree to fight off bees for one mouthful of honey eventually helped fuel one of the most devastating economic systems in human history. The instinct never changed, only the scale did. Here's something most people never think about. Your teeth are keeping records. Every cavity you've ever had traces back to a survival strategy that evolved millions of years before dentistry, or even language, existed. Scientists can look at ancient teeth, the scratches, the chemical residue, the hardened plaque, and reconstruct what people were eating thousands of years ago. And the pattern is consistent every single time: dramatically less sugar than we eat now. Cavities existed, but they were rare until agriculture spread and then exploded once refined sugar entered the picture. One extra detail to sit with: a single can of soda can contain more sugar than many ancient humans consumed across several days combined. Your ancestors would have called that a miracle. Your dentist calls it Tuesday. So, what's the real answer to why ancient humans rarely tasted anything sweet? It's not that they didn't want it. It's that nature made them earn every single bite, with cliffs, stinging insects, sour fruit, and seasons that lasted weeks instead of months. That scarcity is exactly what carved the craving into your biology in the first place. Now the hunt is gone, the bees are gone, the climbing is gone, but the craving your ancestors built through 2 million years of struggle is still fully loaded, still running. For your ancestors, sweetness was a reward for surviving the day. For us, it's often the first thing waiting when the day begins. The craving hasn't changed, only the world around it has.